fucked me over for a minute. 2 minutes into the show, thought they was trying to play the kid. Let's get it. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. We go, ooh la la. On a Friday. Best day. Best day. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovus TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. Got mine in today. So before you leave and hit to the left, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, smash that notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time, and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because today's Friday, like I just finished saying. Best day, blessed day. And although I be playing, I'm really not. I had to think about coming out of service, or what made me think about this coming out of service is, last night was the NBA Finals. You see the Boston hat. They up 1-0. And before we get too crazy with it and all that, even though it is a small topic tonight, this was the first bracket right here. So you see I got Boston winning it all. You see, I had to run up Dallas. You know what I mean? It's the first bracket that I did. I only did 2 brackets. This ain't March Madness. What's wrong about my Knicks? That's Indiana. What's wrong about Cleveland beating Indiana to get to the conference finals in the East? What's wrong about the Lakers? Plus, I had the bracket wrong. That's why I did the next bracket. Really, I had some of the teams in the wrong spot. Nonetheless, the conclusion was Dallas and Boston, and I had Boston winning it all. Even though I'm rooting for Kyrie and Luka. One got crazy handles, the other go and shoot you. Go to YouTube and check that out. I just dropped that song. Me and my boy Great Fire. That shit fire. Even if you're rooting for Boston. And then on the second bracket, I had everything right as far as the matchups. We had Boston beating Miami. We had Cleveland beating Orlando. We had the Knicks beating Philly. And we had Indiana beating Milwaukee. See the first bracket in the East. When the East is in the house, oh my God. Then in the West, we had Dallas beating OKC. We had Dallas beating Lakers because I thought Lakers was going to beat Denver. And then we had Minnesota, coming out after they came and they looked like they was about to shake the block up, and they ended up getting taken out of there by Dallas. And then we had Minnesota going against Boston. But on both brackets, I had Boston winning. Jason and Tatum, it's about time that they win. They keep knocking on the door, getting close. Eastern Conference Finals, get to the chip, running to Steph and them, looking for their 4th ring. You know what I mean? Especially to validate, being, not really validate, I guess I won't say that. That's just talking crazy. They did win the chip without Kevin Durant. Obviously, Kyrie, Kevin Love got hurt in that finals. Then after LeBron came back 3-1 on him, the ultimate warrior, then they went and got KD, and then they won, 2 more. Without KD, looked like they couldn't get it done. and then they got it done. So, you know what I mean? They just Tatum and them when they was young. They was on a young stage. They didn't have Drew Holiday, who is the champion. And they didn't have Kristaps Porzingis, who my beloved Knicks, did draft. And then somehow we just be fumbling the bag. Like, if it ain't injuries, it's bad management. It's organizational stuff going on with the Knicks. And, yeah, we be letting a lot of good people go. But anyway, in light of the NBA Finals, Game 1, didn't really live up to the hype, you know what I mean? Had me hyped for my song and all that, you know what I mean? But other than that, it really was a blowout from start to finish. Luka, they did bring it down to 8 after that, little push, to make it, come back. Then it was back up to 20, and it was like, damn, could y'all do anything? You know what I mean? But, yeah. Kyrie and Luka. One got crazy hands. The other going shooter. Kyrie and Luka. This is fire right here. He's heating up. Thought it was going to be a good, you know what I mean? First game, and it wasn't. He's on fire! You know what I mean? Like, pick your poison, Kyrie and Luka. And Kyrie didn't have a good game. A lot of people was happy about that, because they on the apology tour, which you spoke about in the last live. It's like, he's matured and he's this and he's that. He really just stood on business, wasn't taking no jabs. You know what I mean? And wasn't just falling for the okie doke, knowing who he is, and that's that. When you hear Stephen A. talk now, even though he apologized, so you got to give him some props for that. It's still like self-inflicted wounds, and it's like, what's self-inflicted? Because he didn't want to take the jizzab, because he knew already, what a lot of y'all finding out now. And then you see somebody like Styles P, like, shout outs to everybody that had to scramble to get the fake Fizzer card and all that, the Vagzizi Kazard, and to keep their jobs and do all that. And I know a lot of people that had to get the fake card, had to get the, the fake documentation to keep pushing forward to, keep their kids from taking something that we found out that shit was all made up. You know what I mean? Or Fauci was making up the 6 feet, and we're going to just make this shit up as we go along. But anyway, back to the game. Kyrie didn't have a great game. Luka had 30, had 1 assist, and wasn't making shots. As it stands right now, it's looking like Boston probably will go on to win 5 games, 6 games, possibly. You know what I mean? They have had a little chink in their armor. There was no Kristaps Porzingis. But if he going to come out and ball like he was balling yesterday, jeez. It don't look like, you know what I mean? It's glad that he was out, because it probably would be, they only lost 2 games without him. You know what I mean? I get it. Miami didn't have, Jimmy playoff Butler. Cleveland didn't have Donovan Mitchell. He might be on the move. He might not be on the move. And then, Halliburton, the Indiana Halliburtons. You know what I mean? But they did have Pascal Siakam. He is a champion. In fact, he beat the Warriors on Toronto with Kawhi Leonard. That's the last time they won. But hoping for a good series. That's all we really want. Somebody was who was it? Was it Mad Dog Russo or somebody on one of them bit networks, like, why they don't have the games like right after? It's like, cause we want all the players to be well rested, and we want to see a good finals. After this is baseball and the WNBA, if you into that, like, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully we won't see this, in the game 2 like that, more competitive. Even if Boston win, you want to see a competitive, series, so we can, you know what I mean? Take your poison, Kyrie and Luka, pull up from 30 feet, the other going shooting. Popovich, let me talk to you. Nah, but in light of that, in light of game 1, some Popovism one-on-one for you, right? Before we get to these topics. If you win or you lose, or you winning or you losing, right? Life is always going to be ups and downs, and the core hove, one day you up, next day you down. Long as you stay the same, it'll come back around. Hove, all right. And are you grateful and appreciative and thankful, right? When you winning, when shit is good, your health is good, your family is good, the winning circle is winning, you've been on a hot streak. And I ain't just talking about game, I'm talking about, I'm using that, but in the overall grand scheme of things, when things is going well for you. You know what I mean? When you're having a lovely day, and it's going to be a lovely day, or when you're sick, when shit ain't going right in your relationship, people in your family is hurting, or you may be dealing with grief, you know what I mean? And rest in peace, Pop, right? Pop Harlem, stand up. Somebody I grew up, he just passed. You know what I mean? So shout outs to everybody that been showing Pop love on the gram, etc. like that. And not just for the gram, you know what I mean? But you really know him, etc. So shout out and rest in peace to Pop. But when you got bad stuff going on in your life, right? Job ain't treating you well, or you got fired, you dealing with health issues, money issues, or whatever it is. It just seems like the black cloud is over you and you can't see tomorrow. Goldie, what's the word? Are you still appreciative? Are you still thankful? Are you still grateful for being alive, for having a chance to be great, even though you down? Are you even killed, or when you all the way up, so to speak, you riding high, and when you down, you just, like, life is just shit. Everything is bad. Like, nigga that owe me money on some paid in full, right? Like, anybody that ever owed me, you just in a bad mood. And I think you should be grateful, appreciative, you know, in the good times and in the bad times, because none of us is going to escape being tested or tried, you know, no matter who we are. You can be the religious of the religious, you know, you can be the righteous of the righteous, you can be the scum of the earth. You're still going to get tested, you know, with different circumstances, scenarios, as you keep living off experience like the locks. You know, it ain't going to always be peaches and cream, so to speak. And that's just that, right? That's Popovism 101. Don't get too high, don't get too low. The main thing is, are you being grateful while you... Oh, this is 200. Let me take this out. Are you being grateful while you being appreciative for the life that you got? And are you making the best of it? That's really, you know what I mean, what it's about. But we also want to in game, because if you're from New York, you know, at the end of this month, right? You know y'all was about to have to start paying for them congestion prices going downtown, midtown, and all that shit. They wanted y'all to pay $15, $30, or whatever it was, you know, to enter in the city between certain times. I even one of my lives, I was looking at a TikTok video or whatever, and somebody had like went into a parking lot, you know, try to show the back way, like you going through the back tunnel and shit, the secret cave, come out on the other side, and that's how you know, you think you allegedly, you know, not pay the toll and you don't pass go. But anyway, Governor, you know, Holcomb, she like, I think I had to change your heart. Like, you get to the altar, you know what I mean, and you like, yo, you know, I love you, but I don't think I'm ready for marriage, and, you know, you get embarrassed in front of all your family and friends, and the person you thought was going to be your husband, he had to change your mind. Or the person, you know what I mean, the wife you thought you was about to have, they have to change your mind, and you standing there holding the bag like, damn, I just paid for this fucking extravagant meal we about to eat, this motherfucking reception, and you ain't gonna do what? Like, you know what I mean? And at the last hour, they say the 30th hour, and this only applies to, you know, if you in New York. If you ain't in New York, then you probably could care less. But in my estimation, I know a lot of New Yorkers was like, damn, that shit gonna really hurt a nigga pockets. You know, and, you know, as she came out and said, you know, regardless of what people think, even though this should be common knowledge, her as the governor, she definitely should know, a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people don't got it. A lot of people is just trying to struggle on some TaLking quality shit just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. And we know that everything goes up. Milk, egg, cheese, bread, buns. I'm being funny, but I'm not, right? Except your paycheck, you know, except your job. That's the only thing that's not going up. In fact, you see, what is it, $11.99 union. A side note real quick. This ain't no real topic, but it is pertinent to what we're talking about now as far as the congestion pricing. We see all those, the TSA workers, the people that, you know, load your bags on, the security, the people that, you know, push the elderly or the disabled through the airports and all that. They're like, yo, we want our pay to go up to $25, and I think even 2030. I was about to say 2025, but 2030, which is 6 years out. He said that's a long time. You should want that shit a little more earlier than that. But I understand we're gonna get y'all ready, and we're gonna show you the power of us sticking together as a union, and that's why we need unions, so they can't just fuck you over, kick you out your job, no representation, you ain't got nobody to go to bat for you, so to speak. And so she like, yo, a lot of Americans, not Americans, a lot of New Yorkers is coming to me like, yo, we can't afford it, or we worrying about how we gonna be able to afford it. Rod, what's the word? My nigga Rod on the check-in on Instagram, we live on YouTube and we live on Instagram. A lot of people just ain't gonna have it. And if you a regular working person and that's your regular route, or you gotta, pass down there between those hours, it's like, what the fuck is you charging me for? And, they kind of hiding it behind, we gonna fix up the MTA, we gonna do the bridges, we gonna get the signals and all this shit. It's like, do y'all remember when motherfucking the ride the train was motherfucking 50 cents, $1? Now that shit $2.75, they trying to make it go up more. You say, damn, if the train system was running back then, and I get it, you gotta upgrade, you gotta, take out a pipe head, put the new pipe, new brake. You have to have some, upgrades, I get that. But my point really is just like, if the movies was 50 cents then, same movie theater, same seats, now you can recline a little bit, it's the same popcorn. It ain't like it's no popcorn from the future. But the movies is $20, the train ride is more like the same shit is going on. And it ain't like we sitting in no reclined seats and shit like that. It's the same train, it's the same subway system. But you want more, and you want more to come from the people. And what's funny about the news and the fake news, I'm only using that to be funny, but I'm not in this regard. Not saying it's fake information, but saying how, the people that control the media, they have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. They put out a lot of signals and a lot of misdirection to, purposely, cause chaos and have confusion, the fear monger, if you will, right? And so the people that's pushing back on Holcomb is like, well, you're doing the New Yorkers a disservice because that money was going to be used for this and for that and for that. Like, we see how much money we sending over to, to Israel and what's the other place that was fighting before Israel? Fucking, what's the other people that's fighting with Putin and all? I can't think of this shit right now, right? But come on, like, you know what I mean? We got money for immigrants, but we can't fix our own subways and bridges. And then you had the bridge out in Baltimore. Unfortunately, right? Some people saying it was purposely, but unfortunately, whether it is or it wasn't, the bridge collapsed. London bridges is falling down. People lost their lives. Rest in peace to those construction workers, etc. Biden jump on TV the next day or whatever, give the press conference. You got our full support. We going and he's talking financially. He's not just not manpower. The manpower is we're gonna send you some money and y'all can rebuild however long it takes. So we got money for all this other shit, and we literally print money. Like, we in trillions of dollars of debt. And again, I ain't no aficionado on none of this shit, so I won't stand up here on my platform and act like my word is to say all and be all, because it's not. Definitely stand to be corrected. Definitely like, oh nah, I misspoke right there. I was wrong. Plenty of times. We're gonna fuck some shit up, and I say shit wrong all the time, right? However, we got money for certain things that we want. When you hear women say, a man gonna make time, if he really like you, and I agree, especially if he ain't get the buns yet, right? Let's be clear. If he got the buns, then if he don't like you, or, he sees some things, it's not really worth the time, the effort, and the headache, then he might bounce, you know what I mean? But ultimately, you ain't gonna make time if he wanna pop. And then after he pop, is he gonna stick around? So we can make time for the stuff that we want. We can come up with the money for these wars and the immigrants and all this other shit. But when it comes right to the back door, whether it's New York, whether it's Houston, no matter where the infrastructure is weak or they claiming they need the taxpayers' money, it's always the little guy. It's always the little guy. And you can fight it, you can dread it, you can run from it. Destiny arrives, all the same. We're gonna see what happens next. But I know a lot of people was not glad that they had to pay. So you got some people on the news like, I'd be happy to pay more money. And, bro, sis, who that don't got it want to pay more money? Come on now. This is some random people they told to go to the news when they're going to be filming that. Because I can't think of nobody that don't got it. Even the people that got it. Donald Trump ain't want to pay no taxes. You hear the rich all the time, or the people that figured out how money works, etc., find loopholes, find little, you know what I mean, ways to not get, to not lose money, to not have to pay no money if they don't have to. Now, of course, if you got it and you a big fish and that's you, then $15 ain't nothing. An extra 100,000 a year ain't enough because you're rich. And that's strictly the rich. Not somebody fronting on the gram with a whole bunch of, Gucci sneakers or watch or chicks with bags and you got a little vehicle. You're not rich. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the people that's really rich. Of course, it ain't really no issue to them because they figured out the money language. They know how money works and they have more assets than liabilities. So before they do things, they making sure those assets is paying for those liabilities. Whereas the poor and the poor-minded, the poor mentality, you're going to go get a liability before you create an asset to have income coming in to pay for that liability. See, that's how the poor think. The rich say, damn, I want a Lamborghini, so to speak. What type of asset can I create or invest in to pay for the Lamborghini so I'm not paying out of the money I'm already getting? I'm going to create something to pay for that so that all the money I've been had in my pocket stays in my pocket. And broke niggas and broke mentality, you're like, nah, I want the car, so I'm gonna go get the car. I'm a financer, I'm gonna lease it. I'm not gonna create nothing to pay for that. So the money I'm already making, I have to take that money out of that, and therefore your money goes down. But let's get to this other time. It's trending. And we spoke about her a few times, not in a negative light, but just to shine some light on. Shout out to my nigga Will Tracks. Shine a light on Ebony K. Williams, right? She back in the news, and we know, she was talking to Yana Van Zam about, the bus driver. It was a big trending topic, kind of shitting on a lot of, regular, everyday 9-to-5 people, the people who I was just talking about, because they're kind of like cutting the middle class out, if you will. And even though it may be slowly but surely, maybe like how they say, death by 1,000 paper cuts, 1 cut, 2 cut, 3. So you start getting a million, and your body, you bleed to death. Ultimately, you can't see it because it's like the sun, goes around the earth and all, or the moon, however it revolves. But you don't see it. You're going through your day, and all of a sudden it's nighttime. Same thing with the middle class. You either got it or you don't got it. The middle class is being squeezed. But anyway, same bus drivers, garbage truck sanitation workers, MTA workers, conductors on the train, etc., teachers, regular people, electricians and shit like that, cable guys, the regular everyday men. When she was talking to Van Zam, she was like, when she asked her, would you date a bus driver? And, fixed up her face and all, and I was like, if he owns it, you know what I mean? Thought that was cute, thought she was eating, right? But she really didn't. They dragged her on the internet for like 2 weeks straight. You know what I mean? And I spoke about it. So that's what I'm talking about, to refresh your memory if you didn't catch the other show. And then all of a sudden after that, it was like, now she talking about, ladies. Like, where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? We 22 minutes into the show, and where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? She was telling y'all what Kevin Samuels was saying, right? Like, their counterpart, the Becky, Marisol, Leanne, and all of them. A lot of them go to college to not only get an education, but to find a husband, to find a partner to get through this treacherous, journey that we call life. And do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, video out of here, Mercedes, Benz, and Range Rover out of here, right? We all going. Who you going, are you going with somebody by your side or you're not? She seemed to be kind of adapting and having the same talking points as Kevin Samuels, saying, maybe when you're going to get that degree, sis, you should try to find a husband. And a lot of people in the red pill sector, and if you're familiar with my show and my content, shit that I be talking about, they're not familiar with the red pill, may have some talking points because I agree, but I'm not on here like, yeah, red pill and women is, all that nigga. I think you should get married, you should build, and you should push community. That's my stance, right? I'm not saying, don't go your own way, go the ultimate lifestyle. I'm saying men should be with women, women should be with men, and we should build as the Most High intended for us to be. Now, that's hard to do that. You can say it with your words, but now when it's time to put that in action, we see, shit is on a decline. But anyway, that was her advice. She was telling women, switching it up a little bit. A lot of people called her out for it, like, man, I don't sound like somebody. Now she talking like Kevin Steen, rest in peace. Why is she changing her tune? Older now, talking about her failed relationships, talking about wanting kids, talking about freezing her eggs and having the financial stability to do it because she got money. Now, I ain't going to say she's a big fish and she's rich, but to my knowledge, I don't think she got a book. She was a lawyer. She was on reality TV, you know what I mean? And she seemed to be doing all right for us. So she was on another network, I think. She got fired for that, or the show was canceled, so and ultimately she got fired, but so did everybody else. But now, you know what I mean? A couple months later, she's pregnant, right? And actually, before we get to being pregnant, she also spoke about, moving forward, women that got money. Like I said, she got a couple dollars. She like, because the dating pool is scarce for certain quality of women, especially black women, because she's black, that you don't gotta settle. You don't gotta be a pick-me. If you got the money, then you should start investing while you're younger, to freezing your eggs and looking for sperm donors. But then she also added the caveat like, well, because she's a black woman, obviously you want a black baby, you want a black child. And she was like, black male donors is scarce, right? And then when we start thinking about, I think I actually, let's see if we can find what she was saying.
What's good, everybody?
Got my boy O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Expensive and oftentimes lengthy process. That means that
women taking the opportunities to
so
do
that's what she had to
artificial
say, right? So y'all can hear it out her mouth.
Largely because of
to all of the options that our hard work and circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more black women consider and even exercise.
Let's listen to what she got to
So
say.
anybody that's in their feelings about that, go ahead and start to process right now. Because black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests.
Okay, I hear that.
And now that bypassing those insufficient relationships does not have to come at the expense of motherhood, well, frankly, it's a whole new world.
Still could be a mother.
A world
a
in which
mother.
Black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose.
Being pick-me.
Because now we get to do the choosing.
Mm.
And as we choose, we do have to contend with the reality of a dismally small supply of black sperm.
Hold on.
Because most black women on this...
It's a whole lot of black sperm out there, but not at the clinic. I mean, a whole lot of black men. I'll jump in real quick. As I watch this back, she dead ass serious. That's number one, right? She's definitely serious. And she talked it into existence because now she is pregnant. You heard her say it's scarce. And the reason why it's scarce is, off the top, I can't think of anybody that I know coming up or even now that's going to the clinic donating sperm, being a blood donor. You know what I mean? Doing certain things is like, you gotta not be the lowest of the lowest. I mean, donating blood is kind of considered more honorable. People need blood, accidents, they match up the blood type. You can possibly be saving a life, right? I don't know how many, pints or whatever you get $20, $50, you selling your blood. You know what I mean? But I'm assuming it's not a lot of regular, the bus driver, people going to these clinics, jacking off in the cup to get, I don't even know how much they giving you for you to bust off in the cup. I can't even think of it. And so if you got money, you probably would be better off as long as some contract signed or something concrete where it can't come back to bite the guy because you're choosing to be a single mother. Go get the guy you want. Listen, 6 feet, you tall, you dark skinned, you light skinned, you got good hair, whatever your criteria is, ladies. Listen, I don't want to go to no sperm donor. Could be a junkie, could be a bus driver, could be like, who's going to these clinics to give up sperm? I'd rather just let you, skeet, even if it's in the cup, right? That way, pay you. Like, you ain't got to pay no child support. I just want to be a mom. And so when you hear,
we want to create children that look like us,
Just
and that look like our
sound
families, and that means we want black sperm. And as we heard from Reese Brooks, it's the definition of slim pickings. And sometimes that means compromising on this aspect of your journey.
Not black.
Now, I am extremely fortunate that I was able to secure 2 vials of black sperm from California Cryobank when I embarked on this part of my journey last fall.
I wonder who they
But I do know that I am an outlier. So I've got 2 concrete tips for single black women who think this may be an option, either now or maybe later. Number 1, please check out Reproductive Village. It's a new black-owned cryobank, and it's designed to help with this shortage of black sperm. It's set to open its doors in DC later this year. It will also have drop-off locations in Atlanta and Houston, Texas. And number 2, be proactive. I say
we gonna cut it right there, right? So she giving good advice. She also kept it a buck, like, listen, I'm an outlier, so this may not be your case. And just like with Vivica Fox, real briefly, for the ladies, you know what I mean? Like, where the ladies at? Keep in mind, these people that's on these channels, or, people like her, they go viral or whatever, they got money. They got resources. So, ultimately, they're going to be all right. I can't really see a person that don't got no resources, you working a 9 to 5 or whatever, you got a good career, but you not well off, you know what I mean? When you one layoff or one lockdown, like a lot of us, from, being financially in the hole, you know what I mean? She going to be all right because she got money. So, in that regards alone, although is going to be a single baby mom, she going to have the resources that she needs. But now it's just like this. She pregnant now. I guess one of the 2 vows that she was able to secure got her pregnant. So hopefully she have a successful pregnancy, a healthy pregnancy, 10 toes down, all, everything come out good. And I'm happy for her because she got what she wanted. But now, let's fast forward. 40 years old, 41, give or take 9 months away or whatever. I think she just did a Vogue magazine. So she's showing a little bit now and shit. And again, all the way congrats. No shade, no none of that. She want to be a mom, and hopefully she's a great mom, right? But in being a great mom, she really doing this for self, and I get it. She want to be a mother. She was in relationships that didn't pan out. Saved her eggs just in case, and it worked out. But what about the child, though? Like, you know what I mean? What about the child? Well, all the other kids got their parents, for those that are fortunate enough to have Father's Day, to have, parents come, when my dad's coming, my mom's coming, when the parents got to come, and it's, forget what they call it, academic day or whatever day, when your parent come, say what they do, etc. When you go on field trips and you pick your parent to chaperone, she gonna be able to be there. But what about when the daughter or the son, whichever, she has, whatever gender she ended up having, what about when they ask where their father's at? What about when they ask where they father? And it's like, damn, mommy, like, where's daddy? Daddy, I never see daddy around. And when they get older, because obviously you can't tell a child when they're young, you know what I mean? They're not going to understand. But when they get older, and you say, damn, no, baby, however, you was a special baby. However you decide to spin it in Tony, there was no other way. You tell your son, you tell your daughter, Gray, what up on the check-in? Mommy, circumstances was this, and I wanted to be a mother so much. I wanted to, bring you into the world that I had to go to, the clinic, pay for some sperm, get these things done over and over until I finally, conceived and was able to be blessed with having you, and you're a miracle baby. How do they take that? Can never talk to their father, ever. Never gonna be able to talk to their father. And I get it for the people that may say, well, for instance, somebody in my family, their father was killed before they was born. That's different circumstances. Have the baby while the father is alive. You're not anticipating losing the father. So So those are totally different circumstances. But I'm bringing it up for those, you know, what they call them, like outliers, like she just said. You have, well, you know, I was married, but then I got divorced. I didn't choose to be a single. Like, you have certain circumstances where we get it. But that's not the overall, you know, experience of most people. She's choosing to do this. And she's rich. So she can choose what she wants. And I don't see a lot of broke women, a lot of women that's just getting by, choosing to do this. That's why she said for the women that got it. She made sure she was clear. Still, I would like to, you know, hear if somebody was to ask on one of these channels and platforms, because she be making her way through social media. What's she gonna tell her child, her son or daughter? And we both know that, you know, sons need their fathers, daughters need their fathers too. You see that on social media all the time. When certain circumstances, or you see somebody acting out, they be like, he need his father, or the daughter need his father. Women, you know, dressing scandalously or doing crazy shit, like, hey, where was the father at? What's she gonna tell her child? And what could she tell her child that would justify her actions? Could it be something? You can leave it in the comments. You can let me know if I got the wrong take on this, and I'll gladly listen. But what possibly could be said to the child that would make it right? You know, a lot of people that parents are alive, they don't get over not having a father or mother around for whatever. And normally it's the father. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Like we always do on Pop If It's TV. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We see grown adults in their late 30s, early 30s, even their 40s, still have childhood trauma of not having the father around. Now I get it, maybe he was a piece of shit, you decide to, you know, carry before you marry, you still had the baby. Whatever your circumstances, we know we can go down a rabbit hole with plenty or plethora of scenarios. He turned out to be a drug addict. He turned out to be an abuser. He turned out to have 5 wives. He turned out to be this. He went to jail for 25 years. He was a murderer. He was crazy. He was deranged. You know, all these stories from these women. None of them never say, listen, this nigga was a piece of shit. I knew that. Still had the baby. And that's why he not around. Because I still wanted to have the baby. Or I thought, you know, what's the nigga I was about to say, Kevin Hart, but it's Andy Griffin. How about you telling the truth? Mama was a hoe. You was weekend pussy. I had you to keep the nigga. It didn't work out, but he a good nigga. Because he take care of his real family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being funny because that's his shit. But that's pretty much what he was saying. That's a skit on a Chronic 2001 album for anybody that may be wondering. That was the skit. Now, I mean, they say a black man is a pimp, but the real pimp walking the motherfucking earth is her mama. It's her mama that told her, get a man that got a good job, girl. Get with a nigga that could buy you nice things, girl. Get it like, how about falling in love with a nigga with a bus pass? Just because you love the nigga, right? So that was the beginning of the skit. But yeah, you still had the child. Man wasn't shit, according to y'all. Pure peacock, what's the word? And you still had the baby. So those are circumstances that a lot of women would be like, well, the nigga wasn't shit, he was abusive, he was toxic. And say you're right. So you decide to leave and now you're raising your child by yourself. But choosing to be a single baby mom like her, going to the sperm clinic, as she said, you know what I mean, choosing, like, what if it was some bum nigga? And I literally mean not like a bum nigga that's not working, not trying to do nothing with himself. Talking about like a homeless person. Crackhead, a dope fiend. And I guess they scan. You can't just take anybody's sperm, can you? I don't know. I never went and skeeted in the cup. But I'm just like, damn, like, who's going to these clinics to give sperm? Especially black men. That you had to go do that just to have a child. And now you got the child when the child is 10 years old, boy or girl. And they looking up, mommy, why daddy never come on these trips with us? We going on a lot of nice trips. But where's daddy at? Or, you know, when you get with when you do get with a guy, because it's not over for her, I think Ebony K. Williams, for those that just joining, I think she's still an attractive lady. I don't think she's unattractive. I think she still look good. She's 40, she's older, but she look good. So it's not out the scope of realm that she can get with another partner. She can get with a man. But when it comes, it's like, damn, you had a baby. Father ain't dead. He ain't in jail. You chose to have a child on some single shit. And again, you could do it because we all can do what we want to do in this life that we have. We only got one. But is it selfish? Yes, I think it is. I think it's very selfish. And then two, what do you tell a child after they ask where they father at? A lot of grown people still walking around right now having issues from not knowing their father, don't know what happened with their father. You know, like, damn, I just know my stepdad, or I know mommy boyfriend, or Uncle Ray, or whoever, because I never knew my father. A lot of people, it's like that. So she's choosing to do that to her child, which is fucked up to me. Speaking of single parent, or being a single mom, somebody said that's through Kevin Samuels 3-0. We're gonna get off this topic. Her finally having a child, but gotta go to the sperm bank. Vivica A. Fox, 60 years old, now wanting to settle down. Again, she is rich, so she can do what she wants, and she not like the average regular chick. She got money. And then Kendra G, right, who got the single show. You know, all these single ladies and men coming on the show, mostly women wanting the most outlandish shit. They want the whole world, you know what I mean, and the sun and the moon to be presented to them. But I didn't know she had a man. I thought she was single. But and I'm just bringing her because people like Kevin 3-0, they trolling, but they right. She got some African guy, and you can date who you want. But I know she don't be wanting Africans to come on her show for whatever reason. But I guess she just celebrated a birthday. I know she in her 40s as well, might be 41, 42, 43, around the same age bracket as Ebony K. Williams, right? And in the video I seen, you know, her boyfriend come out with the cake and all that. You know, they singing happy birthday, and after they, you know, she say yay and thank you and all that. She like, well, the present I want is I want to be pregnant by tonight, 12 o'clock tonight. I'm on the clock. And I think she froze her eggs too. So, you know, for the rich women that want it all, you know, is she settling though? And, you know, for those that, you know, why I'm saying added her to the 3-0 with Kevin Samuels, because she was on Kevin Samuels, so they was going back and forth a little bit. Now she got the whole format, asking some of the same questions, you know, getting the bag, and I get it. But now you with somebody that's lesser than you, and I don't know if he a millionaire or not, but a lot of people in the comments, y'all know I be in the comments, when I'm running through these YouTube streets, when I run across these social media platforms, a lot of people in the comments was like, she settled. He ain't no rich nigga, you know what I mean? He ain't bigger than her. And when you put career before relationship, a lot of times, not everybody, but a lot of times as you get older, you know, it is what it is. Your sexual market value, I'm just learning these acronyms too, but it's true, goes down. Because if not, why she ain't got the person, I'm sure he wasn't the first choice. And now you see people saying she was playing, but she not really playing, because she already made it mention a few times that I heard her say she want kids. She don't got no kids. So the only way to have kids is to get pregnant and to do it before the biological clock starts ticking, especially if you ain't save your eggs. She saved the eggs, so hopefully she could get pregnant too, because it's like if that makes you happy, be happy. But speaking of being a single baby mom, right? It's this dude running around on the internet. His name is Brandon Jamal, and if you're not familiar with him, he got a song called "Single Mom," right? And you know, he went real viral a few times. I guess he got like 1 million followers on TikTok. I keep saying I'm gonna join, but I haven't yet. And then with the talks of them shutting it down and, you know, buying it out, or they gotta sell it to America or whatever, I'm sure a lot of people gonna be jumping off too. But get it while you can get it, and get it while the getting's good. Anyway, he went viral. I think I got the clip right here. Where's the clip at?
What's good, everybody?
So I got a picture on. So this him right here, right? He went on the Fresh and Fit podcast. He said he wasn't scheduled to be there. He was in Miami taking care of some business. He stopped by. They had him as the guest of honor. Real quickly, for those that don't know or you may know, Fresh and Fit podcast. I found out about them like a lot of these different podcasts during the pandemic, cabin fever. We in our houses, we're trying to find shit to entertain us, you know. And it's another red pill content, which I just was speaking about. And so, you know, it's supposed to teach you how to stay fresh, how to stay fit, how to be the best version of yourself. Come to find out, one of the co-hosts is, you know, got a chick pregnant out of wedlock, supposed to be a side piece. He was just knocking down. They got him on the phone call. They record everything now. And he like, yo, I don't think you should have the baby. So y'all know what I'm talking about, the dark-skinned dude, right? So anyway, he was on their podcast, and they kicked him off. He walked out, and he kind of went viral again. And this is what he had to say after that.
Checked out some of the brother's content.
No one has an official relationship. Like,
you mean the women or the men here?
Everybody.
Yo, who's a viral here or not? May I speak? What the f? Are we here for these bitches or me or bro?
Bitches.
Like for real?
It's crazy.
Like can
I
I
think
talk?
if it was only men on the show,
I keep
I would
raising my hand and nobody lets me talk. You wanna hear what this Gap and Heifer has to say except for the viral? What the f is going on here?
You're corny.
If you can let these talk, they can
Come, man.
Like, who do you think he is?
Who do you think he is?
I'm leaving.
Alright, bro, just
LOL. What a cornball.
What a cornball.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure am, a whole lot.
I'm doing too much, bro.
Now you singlemmom.com. Get your merch.
I'm
Get
not
out
a
of here,
single
bro.
woman. No.
First time. Alright, so
You left your diaper.
so he went viral and shit, and it's is he talking still? Let me see.
he's getting into it with the chick, and I guess throughout the
So the thing is this, right? Like sometimes we just, when you ain't used to things, right? And what Future say, when you ain't used to it, you know what I mean? You need to get used to it. Or we were just talking about the finals, Jason Tatum, and they was wide-eyed, looked like Dallas Mavericks was wide-eyed yesterday. Like you never been there, and as you if you watch, at halftime you see Jason Kidd speaking to his team, and he like, you acting like we never, and he caught himself because they never was there. The only person was there was him and Kyrie Irving. So I'm only saying that to say, I don't know the brother. I know he from I think he's from Alabama. He's in North Carolina now, whatever. And again, he's super popping on TikTok, made himself viral. And the clip that you didn't see, he like, yo, I'm the nigga that went from 100,000 to over 1 million in less than a month. Niggas buying my merch or whatever. And he got the song, single mom, and it's real catchy. I scrolling on YouTube. And I seen the shit, the title caught me. Then when you click on it, it's like, you let him hit it raw. You didn't have single thoughts. Now you was single mom, like, so there's some other shit. And then pretty much like every song that came out, like the Kendrick shit, Control or whatever that shit was, he's like doing it to like he did it to Can't Stand the Rain, New Edition. Like he keep making a rendition of his words, but in the same format of other songs. So he found the little niche. And when you hear him saying stuff like, who is the viral nigga? You know what I mean? And, y'all came here for me, or you came for these bitches. Come off a little cringe, especially for a man, no matter if you viral or not. Like, my nigga, you a nigga or you're not. You a man or you're not, right? And so another, red pill content creator, MTR, which is media tutorial reviews, another channel who I follow and I rock with. He did a reaction to homie, and before he did the reaction, he hit him up in the DMs like, yo, I'm about to react to this shit because you're looking a little crazy, you looking a little shaky, you looking a little nervous on this podcast, you looking, like you ain't on your square. So the dude hit him back like y'all was on business, woo woo woo, wait till the whole story come out and then do your review. But I guess he decided to put up the story anyway, his reaction. He could have waited, a lot of times, that's the only thing I'll say that MTR did possibly wrong. Like, you hit him up to let him know, like, listen, I'm about to do a story about you. I seen your viral clip on Fresh and Fit. It's looking a little suspect. I'm about to do a story on you. He hit him back, I guess, like an hour later. Sometimes you don't see shit, So he ended up still doing his reaction, and then Brandon like, yo, that wasn't a bro move. It's kind of like some sucker shit. You could have just waited. You would have had the whole story. So the only thing I'll say about that is, one, he don't really owe you that. He don't know you, because you could have called me on the bat line, as I like to say, and we could have talked man to man. People be quick to run, with being the first to report on a story. You see a clip going viral. I get it. It's how people is eating. views equals money a lot of times, especially if you monetize. And my channel is not monetized. That's why we say what we want. Even if I ever get monetized, we still gonna say what we want. We still gonna present how we want to present with not fear of getting demonetized. Like I'm doing, you know what I mean? But I get it, when you monetize, you may not curse as much, or you gotta follow the rules a little bit more. And so, maybe he wanted to be one of the first ones to talk about this story that's going viral right now. And homie, just like if you would have waited, you could have got my side. Now back to Brandon, right? Again, I like the brother. I don't know him personally, but I like the song. I like what he's doing. He is saving lives. You don't want to be embarrassed, and we need to bring back shame, guilt for certain people, because some people don't have no filter. They just doing what they want. Like, fuck it, you know what I mean? No matter if an older lady is there, an older guy, adult is in the room, you ain't got no filter of having self-respect for self or for that person. No matter where you at, you gonna shake your ass, even if it's a respectable restaurant. Like, that part we need to bring back so people can say, oh, not just in the world by myself, it is other people around that I have to coexist with, right? So anyway, as far as the brother, being diva-ish, that's what MTR was saying. I kind of agree, unless he was looking to stay viral, looking to go viral again. And who's the viral motherfucker in here? You see him, if you don't know, like on all his videos, he got the diapers, he got the little juicy cup that babies be drinking out of. And his whole niche is to get at the single moms, right? And again, everybody that's a single mom, circumstances is not the same, so you can't put them all in the same category. But I get why he do what he do. Such a lady entertainment, what's the word? But a little diva-ish, a little like, you viral now. Now the spotlight is on you. Try to act like you've been there before. It's just like almost like you hit the lotto, you was broke today, you hit the lotto tomorrow, or you get a big movie role, and all of a sudden you ghost on Power, and now you that nigga. And so some people don't know how to deal with success. They go overboard. They get obnoxious. They kind of hard to be around. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I got to be around this nigga or this chick. And for instance, I remember, just an example, and I'll bring it up because it's pertinent. Not really the name drop, because you know what I mean, but it's just to show you. So we was at Styles P video. I forget, was it Convict 22? Me and Famous, shout out to my nigga Famous, AAA, right? And so, I know a person that was shooting the video, whatever, she was like, come through, bring woo-woo, get you in, and end up getting a good part in the video, whatever, even though they cut it out, right? And so they had Tyler Holly there, they had some other females there, and they was, doing the robbery scene, right? So we was like in like a bar or a lounge, playing pool, talking shit, drinking. Then these three girls, and Tatted Up Holly was one of them. The fake guns they robbed. I had a little Kango hat on. They took my shit off, took my phone out. They robbed everybody. This is how the video goes, right? So we interacting. Obviously, even though we acting, I don't know you. You know what I mean? You don't know me. You don't know who I am in the real life. I don't know who you are in the real life, because I didn't know who she was. See the little bubble, a lot of tattoos. I didn't know who she was, right? So after the shit is over, it's just early. How many years ago this was? 5 years, 6 years. It's picture time. It's the gram time and shit. And Famous is like, yo, get the picture. We was taking pictures, and he was like, yo, what's your gram, right? And she like Tatted Up Holly or whatever. Like, we knew who she was. Like, it was just kind of like, fuck out of here. It's like, yo, you just snatched my hat off. You just threw my phone and my money in the bag and all that. You just was acting with me. Everything was cool for the video, but now when it's time to take a little bum ass picture or whatever, nigga asking you for your gram, you famous now. You Tatted Up Holly. And it's no knock on it. I'm just bringing it up it is what it is. That's part of, something that I experienced. And a lot of people is like that. You do a little video, you get a little song. My cousin Riri on the check-in, what's the word? And now all of a sudden, you're the best around. And nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best around. Like, you the best around. And now everybody's under you. And Dog Coleon, you under us now. And it's really low class. Like, it's really like, you're not really that person. You got a little viral. You got a little followers. That don't make you famous, and and everybody, and also everybody doesn't know who you are, even though you may have a lot of fun. I hate people like that. You got a big following, every restaurant, every place you go to, you think people know who you are. We don't know who you are in the real life, because that's just social media. You know what I mean? And that's not to take away. It takes hard work, it takes following, or as I like to plainly say on my channel, it takes selling hamburgers on side of the Brooklyn Bridge and setting yourself on fire and doing a lot of dumb shit that we just not going to do over here. We're not going to compromise our integrity. And like Ho said, homie said it's less is more. It's plenty of us. Yeah, it's not a lot of people that, stand on a principle. People will sell ass real quick just to become viral, just to get some followers. So anyway, the brother Brandon, back to him, he viral now. And again, I don't know his lifestyle before this, but 1 million people was a lot of fucking people, right? Especially when it's organic and you're working. If you follow his page, like I said, he definitely a hard worker. He definitely cranking out content. And also the topic of his content, single baby moms. A lot of women is mad behind that. So you're going to get the lash out, people going to lash, and all, as they say, all publicity is good publicity. Whether it's bad or good, it's good because it's helping people talk about you. When people talk about you, it helps you stay viral. It helps you have viral moment. It helps you become more popular or more infamous. So his content fits that. A lot of women under his comments be like, fuck you and fuck you 3 times. Like, do the right thing. And so that helps. You know what I'm saying? So like Kevin Samuels and Thomas Sotomayor, anybody in that, space of always going at women all day. Like, having just one could be a handful, more or less thinking you're going to fight women on the internet. Whew, please save me from that. I hope I never got to deal with that shit. And I probably won't, because I'm not really combative like that. I'm going to get my point across, and you can run from it. You can dread it. But destiny is going to arrive whether you agree with me or not. For me and you. I'm not exempt. You're not exempt. And that's for the ladies. Like, where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? We all going to find out on our own timeline what it is. Right? So I don't got to go back and forth with you. And that's not the energy I'm bringing. But for brothers like him and other brothers that, constantly, they hold content is going at women every day, every video, and you and your comments going back and forth with women, that shit could be draining. Like, who the fuck want to be arguing with women all day? I don't know. But that's not what I'm here for. But anyway, I believe that's why he's also viral. Because when you hate somebody or you have ill will towards them or vitriol towards them, the haters going to come to the channel more than the people that rock with you. Like, I'm going to come watch, but the haters is going to come so they can tell you what's on their motherfucking mind. But to the brother, and he ain't a young brother, a lot of people in the comments like, he's a young brother at 36. You're not young, my guy. You're not young at 36. Definitely a grown, full adult, full man. Just a little diva-ish, just a little you ain't been there before, and so you showing that you ain't get no joints before. It's like, guy, like I said, you get the car now, and like 50 Cent said, I keep some rims, some Timbs, and some jewels. Like, you know what I mean? You got the tools, so the chicks is on you. They don't really like you, they like what you got. And before you didn't have it, now you got it, so your head is blown. Wish him much success. I hope he still continue to get it. Just got to change that stance a little bit about acting like you've been there before. But let's talk about somebody that been there before, right? Let's talk about Meth. Let's talk about Method Man, a.k.a., Tyreek's lawyer. And he recently went viral, or his words are going viral. Summer Jam or whatever he was performing at the concert. I think it was Summer Jam, if I'm not mistaken, right? And pretty much he had Redman there, and they was doing all their classic songs together, you know what I mean? And, I fuck with Red, I fuck with Meth, obviously I'm from that era. And what he pretty much was saying afterwards is like, listen, don't invite me no more, I'm not doing it no more, I'm not fucking with it no more. And the reason he cited for not doing it or wanting to do it, he was saying that the age gap is too big for people in his era. Method Man is 51, 52, I believe. So he is older. And the new generation. Guess the people wasn't really rocking with it like that. They up there performing, blood, sweat, and tears on some Big Daddy Kane shit. I work, and if you ever seen Big Daddy Kane, you know, not only is he gonna rap, but he gonna do his little shit, you know what I mean? He gonna dance, he gonna have Scrap pull him up from the back. They gonna do the whole performance and give you your money's worth. They ain't gonna just come up there grabbing their dicks and spitting, you know what I mean? And just standing in one place rapping because the song is popular and everybody know the song. They're gonna perform for you and give you your money's worth, right? And I respect that. Because if I'm going to your concert, I'm going to a show, I'm taking time out, I want to be entertained. And y'all know the words from Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Like, I hope you entertained because I'm putting on the best show possible for you and my fans. So anyway, they up there tugging on the left. They doing up to the sky. Excuse me as I kiss the sky. They doing all their hits. They got their, you know, their little choreography intact and all that. And you're like, yo, niggas wasn't feeling it, or the crowd just wasn't giving them the energy back. He wasn't getting the love that he probably thought he should get. And so my stance, after I seen the comments, you know, I told you I'm sit up here on my porch of hip hop, looking down at the new era, like, yeah, y'all can't fuck with us. You know what I mean? Let's be clear. I come from that era, and I won't go into that whole thing again, but I am sitting up here, and we looking down, and I'm being funny, but I'm not. Definitely not. And I'm like, yeah, y'all can't fuck with us. On to the next. What's the word? And I was thinking, like, cause he like people in the comments, like maybe we should have a separate summer jam, like one day for the older people, and you know the next day for the younger people. And I'm thinking, like, that might not be a bad idea. As a person that, you know, I went to summer jam like 7 years straight at one time. Like I'm going to summer jam, you know what I mean? Just, you know, I want to see the hip hop people. You know, I fuck with hip hop. I love hip hop. That's what the show be about a lot of times. And I'm thinking, like, that might be a good idea. But I'm in the studio the other day. You know what I mean? And I was with my guy Cruz, you know what I mean? And as we was doing this shit right here, One got crazy handles, the other one shooter. Easy up. Like we was doing that. And Cruz, you know, he's an editor, engineer, you know what I mean? He fire on the ones and twos. I was telling him my stance and shit, and then he was like, nah, that's the wrong stance. He like, I know, you know what I mean? X, Y, Z, woo, 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 right? I fucks with the Wu-Tang Heavy, and I fuck with the Wu-Tang Heavy too, I just don't know them. But he do, right? So he was like, nah, you know what I mean? Meth, that's the wrong stance, and this is why. He was like, where's the hits? Where is your bridge between the era you come from and the era now? And when he said that, instantly I was like, oh, my stance was wrong. He absolutely right. The crowd may know you as Tyreek Lawyer from Power, and people that's my age, we know you as, know what I mean, Method Man, METHOD man. We know Redman and all that, Tonight's the Night and all that. We know y'all from 4321, DMX and all that. But where's the hits for now? And even though it's a new era, Nas just released the album that's fire. Couple months ago now, but Blue Magic 3 was fire. Hov, even though it's a few more years out, 444, fire. Busta just released fire. It's a single, couple of singles, but it's still fire. People are still playing. Even Fat Joe, a couple more years out, but he just had a hit all the way up. Like, he could play that right now. I'm sure if he was at Summer Jam, the crowd would have rocked to that. So Meth, so Redman, so to any old school artist, because hip hop is like really the only genre of music, unfortunately, where, you know, if you too old, you shouldn't be rapping. Excuse me. If you a certain age, you should hang it up. But then you see Aerosmith, you see the U2s of the world, you see, you know, I mean, whoever it is, whether it's rock, country, they go on tour all the time. They get to their bag. They make their money no matter their age. Hip hop, you still rapping at a certain age. It's like you too old, you this, you that. I disagree with that stance, but this is, we put ourselves in the box as far as the hip hop community. I don't know why, but it is what it is, right? But for those artists of yesteryear, the Jadas, the Nas, the Hovs, the Redmans, the Meths, you know, whoever you are in that era, the Fat Joes, the 50 Cents, the Ja Rules, right? You still can make hits. Because again, just like I was saying when J. Cole's bowed out gracefully to the battle, it's not like you got to get in the ring physically and defend yourself. It ain't like you got to get on the court and go against, you know, athletes that's 20 years younger, unless you're LeBron. And we see he be getting cooked too. Defense ain't as stellar as it used to be because that's something physical. You got to stop, go, block, endurance. And as you get older, Father Time is undefeated. But hip-hop? Oh, nah, that's just bars. That's just put the beat on. Let me write some shit in my head or on pad, come up with some fire, and then put it out to the people. There's no excuse why you don't got hits now. There's no excuse. So Meth, although you saying that is a gap, and it might be a gap age-wise, hits is going to be hits. No matter what age you are, a hit is a hit. You just got to make something for now. Now, you know, that don't mean you got to compromise and make some 1, 2, 3 shit. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, Scooby-Doo, guess what? America, we love you because you're rock and roll with it so much so. It don't got to be no ABC raps. And it don't got to be so complex on some papoose A to Z where niggas don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes niggas get too lyrical because you have the ability to do it. And nigga don't want to hear that shit. It's like, all right, put that shit on I can dance to, roll up, go to the club, have a chick dance on them niggas, shake ass. You know what I mean? I can ride out, get on the treadmill. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, hip hop is subjective, so you may not like what I like, and I may not like what you like. But ultimately, we're gonna probably agree on some hip hop songs. I think you just gotta come with the hits, man, or just hang it up. You can't do songs from 50 years old, like even Mary J. Blige, right? She from the era. In fact, y'all got the song, You're All I Need, like, you know what I mean? Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girls, me in your world. Believe me. She on that song with you, that was 94, 95? Woo! Nigga getting older, right? Still trying to maintain, though. She got recent songs that just came out. One with Vito, one by herself. Terror, what's the word, my nigga? Here, my nigga Terror, he just joined the chat. Let me know what you think. Meth said, if you heard what he said, just to freshen people up, Meth just did Summer Jam or whatever he did. He like, yo, don't invite me to this shit no more. The gap is too big for me to come perform for these little young niggas. Pretty much that's what he was saying. If you're 19, you're 20, you just think I'm Tyreek's lawyer. And I'm fucking Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan, and Wu-Tang love the kids, right? Should he have hits for now? And if he had a hit for now, would he be having those same sentiments? You gotta have the hits. No matter if you an old nigga, you a new nigga, you know what I mean? You an in-between nigga. The music biz will always be based off and predicated off a hit. And I'll give you an example. You could be an old nigga. You could, anybody old you could think of. Let's say Rod Bass, because he's the first person that came to my mind. And we know we had, you know what I mean, right about now. I want to rock right now. I'm Rod Bass and I can. That's some old shit. Some shit I came up on, right? He ain't had a hit in years. But if he came out with a hit that everybody agreed was a hit, he would be right back spinning in the clip, even if it was for a few weeks, a month or two, just to come out and do the 1 or 2 songs. Because once you got a hit, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. And there's plenty of people that only come in and get 1 hit. And that's all they got. They don't make continuous hits. But they still could do a show. People, you could do G-Deck, right? He didn't have hits in years. Just came home. Salute to him. He still could go on tour and do special delivery. This for my niggas with special delivery. Flows like this, get my wrists all glittery. Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean and show y'all the mean and the shivery. He still could get on stage and do that. Got a hit. If you got a hit, you always could come perform. But let me see what my guy said. Super facts, especially if you're dealing with the younger audience and you're an OG. Facts. Like, come on, Matt. You can't say, I can't. Pretty much you saying I can't make a hit for now. I can't be relevant now. And, you know, Cam, no hits recently. But pretty much on his show, It Is What It Is with Mace, every now and then he do a little freestyle just to show you I got it. Now that's not hits, but it's still just, well, his show keeping him relevant, right? And he is Cam. But just little bars here and there, and I think the most recent one he just did was off the Black Rob, and that's a hit. Like, whoa, hit. You gotta come with the hits now. And again, the hit don't gotta conform to the new era. You don't gotta sound like the Migos. You don't gotta sound like Little Baby. You don't gotta sound like a Sexy Red female, you know what I mean? The male version. You don't gotta sound like Drake or Future. You still can sound like Meth. You just gotta make another Method Man. You just gotta make another, You're All I Need. That's all you gotta do is make another hit, and then you can get on Summer Jam stage, perform your old hits, and then bring them up to date with the new hits. Fat Joe did. The verses, have you seen the verses with Ja? Ja did all old songs, and that's kind of different. But I'm bringing it up to say, at the end of the show, when it was almost over, Fat Joe did All the Way Up, and that's a hit song. He don't just got Lean Back from 20 years ago. He also got an All the Way Up, which is maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Should be kind of, merging with the times. Artists, this is the music business. You could be nice as a fuck. You could go and spit the alphabets from Z to A, from A to Z like a papoose. But if you only got, a butt naked, if that's all you got is one hit, then niggas ain't checking for you. That's just the facts. And that's not no hate. You could be a Davies, you could be a Vado, you could be whoever right now. You have to have hits to be able to, to even, obviously, to be top 5 dead or alive, that's just off one LP. You definitely got to have hits. But if you ain't even got not one hit, you can't even be considered. And that's what brings me to this next topic, right? Because y'all know my big old age, right? I come from the era, but I was talking to somebody that is 19, and they was talking about Big L, and to show you their age, they from Harlem or grew up in Harlem, but they didn't know Big L was from 40th, right? Rest in peace, Big L. I know him, not intimate like that. That was my man, but I did know him. Obviously, I'm from Harlem. I'm up in these streets, and he was in them streets at this time too, right? So rest in peace, Big L. Shout outs to Harlem, my borough. And so he was like, I seen the picture. Obviously the picture been there for a long time. So he asking me, he was like, I didn't know he was from that block. I just thought they put the picture there, right? And granted, if you don't know, you don't know. So it ain't, it ain't no knock on the young brother. He 19. Monique, what's the word? So then he started telling me about the documentary, right? Which I didn't watch it. But he like, yeah, it's the they got a documentary about it now. I'm like, yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't watch it yet. He like, you should watch it, etc. Right? I'm like, when I get a chance, I'm gonna end up watching it. But he was like, pretty much they painting a picture to say like, he got to be one of the top people as far as hip hop to not live out his potential, right? As far as meaning like we all know L was nice, definitely super nice, and he never got to show us on a grand scale. He was around for the freestyles. I think he put out one album. Obviously got the Ebonics song and shit. And again, if you're from Harlem or you're a hip hop head, you know that he was nice. You know what I mean? And he never got to compete for long periods of time. So to give you an analogy, that is like a Grant Hill, somebody that was nice, or somebody that always keep getting injured in sports, and it's like, damn, what if RG3 wouldn't have got hurt? According to his rookie year, looked like he was going to be a phenom, super fast, came out, Oregon. I think he was in Oregon. No, yeah, I think he was in Oregon. Super nice, injury. Came back too fast, injury. And then I started thinking like, damn. And then I was talking with somebody older. They're artists too. They from Harlem too. I'm like, you think Big L was not disappointment, but the biggest person that had potential to not make it? And he was like, yeah, he probably one of them, if not the most. And then I started thinking like, I don't know. Because his career was, cut ultimately short. And then I say like, other people, like let's say like a Jewels, right? Had hits, was with a good group, drugs. Now we find out, go to prison, etc. Maybe some rumblings of not having the best work ethic, even though he came out and like, nah, that's not true. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know, I wasn't there. Cam was like, yo, we had to tell a nigga, you can't go to the club with us unless you right. He like, nah, I did the joints with Lil Wayne and, woo, woo. And I say, he showed us. I'm just giving an analogy, or somebody else. Y'all can tell me who else you think came into the game, but career was cut short due to jail, death, or whatever, you know what I mean? And they wasn't able to fulfill their rap career. He kind of did. I think Joel, one album, you know what I mean? Had a couple of hits with himself, but then again, you fall back. Career is not there, so you showed us what possibly could be, then you just vanish. Mace is another one, right? Also from Harlem, right? And even though we got hits, and you watch my last live when I was talking about him and Fab and who had the better career, who's better, he got all of the 112, the two 112 songs. He on the 24 Hours to Live. He on the Nobody Can Hold Me Down. He on, what you know about going out, head-rest, leg tech TVs, all up in the head. So he showed us, oh, I'm that nigga. This is what it is. Then you turned pastor, then you went to Atlanta, and then we ain't heard nothing from you. When you came back with the welcome back, it wasn't that stellar. Some people, tuned in just because like, oh, our favorite guy is back. Let's tune in and see what he got. And when we seen what you had, it wasn't all that. It wasn't knocking like them other shits. It was alright. So, Big L was one of them. I think Mace is there. I think Jewels is there. I think G-Dep is there too. I think it's a few artists, you know what I mean? You come out, you have some sparks, show us what it could be, and then, you know what I mean? And then this is another thing, right? The last thing, I think Dave East was speaking about this. Shout out to Dave East, Harlem in the building, right? He was on a podcast, I'm not sure what it was, but they was asking him who his top 5, MCs out of Harlem, not overall. And he had L on there. And I'm not gonna knock his list, but I'll just add this in. As I say with Big, a lot of people think Big is the best. If he's not the best, especially if you're from the East Coast, you got him in your top 5. At one point in time, I had Big in the top 5 too. And if you're familiar with my sentiments on it, I don't now. It's not enough body of work. So although I get where Dave East, I think he had Cam, I think he had Mace, I think he had who else he had? Cam, Mace, Big L, Herb McGruff, and who else he had? Can't think of the last person, right? It wasn't Vado. It was Big L, Cam, Mace, and Herb McGruff, right? And shout outs to all of them. And that's his list. But just off the top, when I seen the interview, the first thing I'm thinking of is like, it's, for Big L, it's not enough body of work. You got, you all nice. You showed us you was nice. Rhyming with Law Finesse. People was deeming you about to kill a game, and you didn't, because unfortunate events took place. For me personally, when it comes to hip hop or sport or movies or whatever, where other people are competing, and you started at the same time or you didn't, but I got more albums than you, and like I got more hits than you. You got 20 hits, but I got 30, so I'm better. I got 30 hits, you have 20. Unless one of your hits is like 5 of mine. You know what I mean? Like, you wrote an unbelievable hit, let's say in the club, right? Towards like how 50 Cent, in fact, 50 Cent said he thought that lean back shit was in the club. My shit sold 10 mil, his shit was a dud. Like, you know what I mean? Not the same. Both gonna give you the same energy when you in a club or you rocking out at a party or an event. But one did massive numbers and the other one was high. Same thing with rap and the albums. Like, yeah, we know Big L was nice, and we know lyrical ability, wordplay, you know what I mean, all that. He was ushering in. Still ain't got more music than Cam. Still don't even got more music than Mace or even hits. So even though it was cut short, so as far as that, when it comes to rap, I'll move you to the back. Like even though you may be considered one of the greats, Big, you only got 2 albums and one. You know what I mean? Now if you would have stayed, then so that's the thing too. If L would have stayed, yeah, he probably would have had a better career than Ken. Because ultimately, I don't think nobody will argue he's better than Ken as far as lyrical ability. You know what I mean? Now, maybe songwriting wise, we don't know. You know what I mean? Because he ain't really come with no great songs yet. We didn't get to see that part develop. You know what I mean? Is he better than such and such? We don't know. Now, just strictly lyrics, you could say, oh, nah, lyrical, he was probably better. But career-wise, song-wise, body of work-wise, can't really throw you up there like that because you don't have enough work for us to examine and study and scrutinize to say, yeah, you just don't got it. Now, you got KRS-One, 25 albums. Nas with like 10, 12 studio albums. You know what I mean? Even though the last 6 is considered, you know what I mean, not like albums of before. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Let's get to this shit, right? Speaking of Nas, let's talk about Khalees, Nas, only in this sense. Recently, I guess under her post or, whatever, she was doing something. Somebody was like, yo, you and Nas should get back together. You know what I mean? And she was like, nigga, please. Like, you know what I mean? That shit was 15 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? Are you thinking about getting with your ex from 30 years ago, 20 years ago? And it's like, nah, I don't think nobody, unless you really was head over heels for them. You know what I mean? Dom Kerr, what's the word? Unless you really, didn't get over your ex, and you did them wrong, and then they left you, so, it was no closure in them. But ultimately, I can't think of nobody that was with somebody 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when you was thinking about getting with them now. You know what I mean? So I get her on that. But they're like, yo, you need to give him some of that money back. And she's like, shit, the nigga still owe me. So it got to thinking that she was on, an interview, and it just seems like, and again, I don't know if it's true or not. I know when the first allegations came out, he denied it. I would deny it if it ain't true. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking no sexual allegation cop. I'm not taking no abusive allegations. We're going to go to trial. I'm going to have my day in court. Make no mistake about it. But that's just me. A lot of people want to, just get rid of the lawsuit, just pay it off, even if it's not true. You know what I mean? Just because bad publicity is bad for their brand. But anyway, she back out saying, certain things about him. And, he like, yo, I went to pick up my son. You know what I mean? Her parents was in town, so I couldn't see my son. They got a son together called NiTe. And only time that I heard Nas really speak about his relationship with Khalees and his marriage and his ultimate divorce with her was when he did the Life is Good album, which was fire to me. Life is Good, actually he did like 2 songs that you definitely know he was talking about her. And the last song on the album I think was Baby Goodbye. He sampled Guy, cause I'm saying bye bye. He sampled that and he talked about it. What's up, Candy Girl? And he, just spoke about damn, it hurt him. You could tell, artists, they get the shit off their chest and their music. You know what I mean? A lot of artists. See Hov talk about his infidelity. Beyonce, Bring Me Along and all this shit. A lot of artists, that's true artists. Shit that they go through in their life or their family or friends. They do it vicariously through their music. You know what I mean? Even recently, you hear Dame, on another podcast saying that Big Pimpin' was about him, and a lot of shit Hov said it was saying was about him. We don't know, but anyway, that's the only time you really heard Nas really speak about the relationship, and it got me to thinking a lot of guys, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? Because one, you want to lose a lot of times as the guy. Especially on social media, if you're a big platform, meaning the person, you're a big entity, or like Hov said, you're not a businessman, you're a businessman. So for you to jump on interview after interview and talk down to your ex-wife and y'all got kids together, it's just a little suspect move. It's like, why would you do that? And you hear what's the guy, Corey Hogan? I was about to say, I think his name was Hogan. Tia Mowry, ex-husband. You see, every chance she got, I graduated, my marriage this, my marriage that, talking about her husband, and that brother didn't say not one word. Anthony, what's his name? Anthony, the guy, the funny guy. Can't think of his name. Blackish with Diana Ross' daughter. Got divorced from his wife, divorced him. Not one word. not saying nothing. But the women always got something to say. And, maybe they got to get it off their chest. Maybe they want to paint a narrative. But back to Khalees and Nas, she's spinning the block about he was abusive. I could say a lot of shit, but I'm not. But you're still talking about it. Then when the guy like, yo, y'all should just work it out. You like, I don't want him back. And I know she was with a few other people since they broke her. She even was with was it Bill Maher or the nigga from Ghostbusters? The old nigga, like, jeez. You know what I mean? And so, people clown her a little bit. You know what I mean? You get a little older, the options dry up a little bit. And then you hear Nas on the Blue Magic. He like, one girl coming in the front door, the other out the side door. Nigga still looking like he in his late 30s, you know what I mean? Even though he just did the big 50, you know what I mean? And made a lot of good business moves, a lot of great investments. So he doing well. Is she bitter behind that? I don't know. I just wondering why a lot of these ladies just coming out, after the relationship. If it's over, it's over. You're gonna write a book about it, Shawnee. You know what I mean? Let it go. You need to get it, Just let it go. Let's speak about this last shit. Then we up out of here, right? Ray J. They always go to Shay to tell all their biz, as my nigga Great Fire said. And I didn't watch the whole interview. I was planning on to, but I did see this little clip spinning in the clip, and it was about Kim Kardashian. And he was asking them, when the tape came out, how did you feel about it? How did you find out? And woo, what you think about it now, years later? He could still smell it. He got off the couch, jumped behind the couch, being funny, looking for the viral moment. But he said he was embarrassed. I could believe that. I don't think back then trying to go viral, he was trying to go viral. You know what I mean? And people in the comments under this particular post was like, she made him famous. Other people was like, you young, you don't know. He made her famous. Now, obviously, her family, OJ and all that, rest in peace, the lawyer. Her father was, a track star, a big Olympian, etc. So, they had money, etc. But far as herself, I don't think a lot of people knew who she was, and she was a stylist or whatever. He was Brandy little brother, like motherfucking Brandy said. Damn, ain't that Brandy's little brother? And he was. But I think the tape obviously made her famous. I don't think or brought more eyes and popularity to her. And it's like, oh shit, that is Kris, Jenner daughter and all that. I don't think people knew. And if you did know, then you knew. But the thing is this too. Moms ain't had no issues with it. They pimped it out. You know what I mean? She became super famous after that. The Reggie Bushes and Chris Humphrey and multiple little people she them rock with. And it is what it is. But viral now it's not viral from then. In fact, something happened. You got to read about it in the tabloids. That's why that tape of them and also what's the other chick with the big boobs, slim joint from Baywatch, Pamela Anderson. Tapes and shit like that. That's like the first viral moments, as opposed to now, people are trying to go viral. I'm talking about Brandon Jamal, you selling hamburgers on the side of the Brooklyn Bridge, you setting yourself on fire, you got women on your podcast to say certain things to them to look for a viral moment to get them to argue or slap the shit out of somebody on camera, you waving guns or you counting money. You trying to look for the viral moment, whereas them, I don't think the tape ever was intended for them to put out. You know what I mean? Because people was like it was boring, and if you seen it, it wasn't to be exciting for you. It wasn't supposed to be out. It came out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they did it like we're gonna put it out. Now you got shit. You got Sexy Red. That tape, whether it's leaked, like you trying to make a viral moment. You trying to. So that's the only difference. But I do think he Wish It When it came out, he already was famous. You know what I mean? Do I think he was embarrassed? Had his moms and them had to, Brandy, his sister had to, deal with a situation like that? Yeah, as a man, as a woman, you don't want your private part, unless you into that, unless you a dancer, you were fans only, you a porn star, unless you in that adult, industry, as a regular person, can't really see you not being more than, even if you hold it. And you pull out in the whole room, get dark on some Bernie Mac shit, and we blessed over here. Even if that's the case, still don't want your nieces, your moms, your auntie, whoever. You know what I mean? Like it's just embarrassing in that way. So I say don't be sending no videos to no randos. You know, especially ladies. You dealing with a nigga just on a hung bun. You send them all your assets and all your blessings. Now you on motherfucking Reddit or you on Pornhub or you on one of them sites, WorldStar, and all your box and all your goods is out there for the world to see. And now you're embarrassed. I mean, you may get a bag off it, but now you're embarrassed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but you know what it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in to my show, Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.